This is factoring trinomials. So we're talking about trinomials in this form. So make sure you pay attention to A, B, and C. I'm looking for integers with a sum of B. So B is whatever comes in front of the x term. So make sure it's written in the correct order before you figure out what B is. And a product of A and C, so A multiplied by C. For this lesson, A is going to be 1 every time, so the product is very easy, but make sure you watch for that. Let's look at number 1. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write a 1 here, so I know that. So here's A, here's B, and here's C. So according to what I'm looking for a sum of B. So a sum of 9 and a product of AC. So AC is 1 times 20, and that's 20. So I have to figure out what numbers multiply to equal 20 but add to equal 9. If you're not sure, just write them out. Here are my factors of 20. 1 times 20, 2 times 10, and 4 times 5. So the only ones that add to 9 are 4 and 5. So now I can go ahead and write my answer. So it's x plus 4 and x plus 5. So now it's factored. Let's try another example. Remember, this is a 1. This is A. This is B. C. I need a sum of B, which is 11. Product of AC, so that's 1 times 24, which is 24. So I need to find out what numbers multiply to equal 24 but add to equal 11. Many of you will know these right off the top of your head, but if you can't figure it out, write everything out like I'm showing you. So 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. So these are the factors that multiply to equal 24. Does any of them add to equal 11? Yes. 8, or 3 and 8. So my answer is x plus 3 times x plus 8. Okay, here's another example. This one has a negative here, so we have to make sure we pay attention to this. So again, I'm going to go ahead and label. You need to memorize this, but I'm going to write it every time. So I need a sum of negative 8, so they have to add to be negative, and a product of 1 times 12, which is 12. So what multiplies to 12? Well, 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. So this is where it's a little bit different than what we've seen, because we might have to manipulate the signs. So we know that 2 and 6 add to 8, but I need negative 8. So I'm going to make it negative 2 and negative 6. So negative 2 plus negative 6 is a negative 8. Negative 2 plus a negative 6 multiplies to equal positive 12. So negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. Okay, one more example. I'm going to skip over to 6 right here. So as I'm looking at this, I see an equal sign. So that means I'm going to have to solve for x. The other ones did not have equal signs. So I'm not solving for x. You should write that down because that's a common mistake. I need to rearrange. So I can get everything on the same side of the equal sign. So all I did was I took this positive 18, I moved it over here. When you move it, you have to make it a negative 18. So here's A, B, and C. So I need a sum of negative 7 and a product of negative 18. So 1 times negative 18. Okay, so I'm thinking, what multiplies to equal 18? So 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. So these are the numbers I'm going to need. I just have to think one of them may have to be negative because I need to multiply to equal a negative 18. So that means one of them needs to be negative. I'm going to go ahead and put a negative sign right here. And it needs to add to negative 7. So that tells me that I need the negative to be the 9, the positive to be the 2. Negative 9 plus 2 is negative 7. Negative 9 multiplied by 2 is negative 18. Now I still have an equation. I still have equals 0, so I have to finish. So remember, like I said, it's a zero product property. Either this or this is 0. So I just have to figure out which it is. So x plus negative 9 equals 0, or x plus 2 equals 0. So I can solve this. So x equals negative 2, or x is equal to 9, one of those two. Again, re-watch this, look at some of the other sources that were posted on Edmodo or other things online so that you can figure out how to do this. Don't just write the numbers. Go back, write everything you need so when you come to class, you have an idea. And another good practice would be go start the homework. See if you have questions before so I can help you. If you don't know any of it at all, you're not going to have time to get help in class.